in Massachusetts, and there are lots of examples.
Just a quick follow-up. We've heard from every single other candidate this afternoon that the state should not be in the business of picking winners, so to speak. And yet Massachusetts seems to do exactly that. They say that it's none of, that's for venture capitalists, others to do. So why is the state in the business of trying to pick winners?
That's a difference in opinion. First of all, folks, I've heard people say you shouldn't be in the business of picking winners and losers. Let me be clear: we don't pick losers. Okay, we just pick winners. And I don't think I've spent as distinct from Charlie and Tim. They've spent twice as much time on Beacon Hill as I have, and I've spent twice as much time in the private sector as they have. I don't think, I'm a capitalist, but I'm not a free marketeer or a market fundamentalist, let me put it that way. I don't think markets always get it right, all on their own. I think some intervention is appropriate. And all we're doing and all we're trying to do is to play to our strengths. Who wouldn't do that? It's common sense. Our strength is a concentration of brain power, a reputation for a well-educated workforce, and a tradition of innovation that goes back centuries. So why wouldn't we be trying to attract the kinds of businesses that for which we are uniquely suited? And that's what the life sciences. It doesn't mean to the exclusion of others, but that's why we focused on the life sciences and biotech, on IT, on clean and alternative energy, and increasingly we are making the things we invent. So manufacturing is coming back as well. I want to talk about small businesses in a minute, but maybe we should wait for another.
Let's move on a bit. Lightning has not always struck in our lightning rounds, but hopefully it will this time. Let's begin with Shirley, because you lost your chance last time.
All right, I'm going to give you a question I was going to ask Treasurer Cahill, but I think you can answer it too.
I think he's still in the back.
Well, you must think a lot about money as the governor. So do you still have faith in the stock market? And if the answer is yes, do you have any stock tips?
Well, you know what? I'll write it down and I'll bring the question to Tim, since you intended it for Tim. Well, do I have faith in the stock market? I think the stock market is the stock market. It's not an economic indicator. I just don't buy that, when the stock market goes up, all is well, and when it goes down, all is not. It's fundamentally about a calculated bet, I respect that, but I think that the economic indicator that means the most for what we're trying to do is the employment numbers, and where those jobs are and where they can be. So I don't really have stock tips. I will say maybe. Do I dare step out there? Look, let me tell you what I'm excited about. This is what I'm excited about. I'm excited about what's happening in the clean tech space. I feel to my core, particularly looking around the world and seeing what's happening. If we get this right, the whole world will be our customer. And I'm not just talking about folks with PhDs. I'm talking about through the whole array of job opportunities, and it's happening. We're building the largest wind blade testing facility in the world in Charlestown right now. And so blades from projects all over the world will be tested here. We have 2 manufacturers that are moving to Massachusetts. We have one of the companies that builds the engines for windmills. We've had a quadrupling of the number of solar manufacturing and installation companies in the last 4 years. And this morning I met a fellow who is manufacturing the frames that hold these different panels. That's not PhD work, but it's a whole bunch of jobs, and we're creating them right here in Massachusetts. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what's happening in the life sciences space. And in IT, I know this is the lightning round, I'm sorry. I just remembered it was the lightning round. But in IT, I'd just say this. This is not, as I like to say, your father's Route 128. This is the new IT. It's video game developing. That we're third largest center in the country for video game developing. Anybody know that Guitar Hero? You know that game, Guitar Hero? That's a Massachusetts product. It's invented here. It's made here. Robotics. Everything from we talked about this the other day at the Chamber, George. Everything from the critters that find and explode roadside bombs to the things that vacuum your homes. That's today's IT here in Massachusetts.
All right,
and there are a whole range of jobs in there, and I'm excited about it.
This is the sunshine all day long round. Kurt Nickish.
I'm sorry.
Governor, what was your favorite summer job, and what's the most important thing you learned from it?
My favorite summer job. Well, my first job was on a snow cone machine that Mr. Ward had attached to an old Jeep. He lived 2 doors down for us, and I think I started working on that when I was 11 years old. And it was sticky and dirty. And I got paid in the sticky coins so I had to go home and rinse off my salary at the end of, and you were covered in, sugar and dirt at the end of it all. I worked a lathe in a machine shop in a couple of 3 summers. I was a busboy, clearing tables. I think, there's nothing like a job to get across the importance of a couple things. One, that other people rely on you. That you're a part of a team. You got to pull your weight. You got to show up on time. You have to bring the right attitude to it. I think the other thing is who has had the experience of that first paycheck? It's like when my kids did. And you think, wait a second, they told me I was going to be paid this. What is this FICA thing? What is that? And it's one of the things I think about when we have we get into all the debates about taxes, because it's your money, right? It's your money. I think the learning about as I say, showing up on time, being responsible, also getting acknowledged for a job well done. That goes a long way. And people talk about financial bonuses and all that, and that's a great thing. But just saying thank you to someone for doing the job and doing it well and conscientiously goes a long, long way to motivate people who are working.
All right, I've got to be responsible and get us out on time. I want to give Governor Patrick you 1 minute for a closing statement, which again will be helpfully timed.
Okay, well, thank you again for having me. Sorry that the lightning round wasn't lightning-like, but I just want to tell a story. I was at a jobs club the other day at a career center in Quincy. It started at a career center in Quincy, and many of you here may know what jobs clubs are. They're groups of folks who are unemployed who get together in the career centers, and they support each other. They encourage each other. And this one particular jobs club invited me to come because they have moved their meetings now out to the local IHOP because they've been unemployed for more than a year and a half. And I went and I sat with them, 20 of them, and each of them told their story. They've done everything they were supposed to do. They were making plans and saving what they could and supporting families. And what I heard from them is not anger. It might surprise you. It's not anger. They're afraid. They're worried about tomorrow. They're worried what happens in 2 weeks when their extended unemployment benefits run out. And I want you to know, as I wanted them to know, those are the folks I go to work for. Those are the folks I'm thinking about every day when I wake up, when I go to bed, and all through the day. And if you will honor me with a second term, I promise you I will continue to focus on them until every single one of them is back to work. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Governor Patrick.
Good to see you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Governor. So this brings us to the end of this gubernatorial forum on jobs and opportunity. Thank you. You have been an excellent, attentive, respectful, wonderful audience. And we want to thank everybody at Skills2Compete. A couple last pieces of housekeeping. In your packet tonight, you should find an endorsement card. If you've decided that you now love one of these candidates, fill it out, put it in the basket on the way out. More information on SkillWorks and workforce policy you can find at www.skill-works.org, skill-works.org. Video of this event will be up on the website. We want to thank, again, all the candidates, all the speakers, our excellent forum, our excellent questioners, Dr. Fifield and your staff for hosting us today. And thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.